Hello everybody and welcome to Goodison Park. Hello to everybody watching on Facebook and wherever you're watching around the world, and particularly to our supporters in Los Angeles who've been enjoying the Premier League live events. As you can see by the caption, I'm joined by Leon Osman. I say welcome to Goodison Park, Leon. It's welcome to a stunned Goodison Park, isn't it?
Yeah, that's probably the right word, stunned. Didn't think it was the greatest of games from either team up until the 75th minute, but I still felt that we'd, deserved to be in front of that moment. But from then till the end of the game, it was stunning. It was so unlike us. It was really poor, really disappointing to concede so many goals so quickly and eventually lose the game. Yeah, it's a stunned Goodison Park.
It's not just the fact that we've conceded 5 goals, it's the manner in which we've conceded the 5 goals. There were some really, really poor goals. Rafa and the coaching staff will be livid, I suppose.
Well, they will be, yeah. I mean, you work all week, all month, all season on defending well, being organised, working as a team, and that was anything but. And then in the latter stages of that game, it seemed so easy for Watford players to make a run forward and be unmarked, and Everton players were at 6s and 7s trying to figure out whose responsibility it was and whose job it was, and the gaps were clear for Watford players to take advantage of.
Big job to lift the players now before the next game against Wolverhampton Wanderers, because that will be a very flat dressing room, won't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just this game, it's coming off the back of 2 defeats at Goodison Park on the run, which is somewhere that traditionally we're very strong. We make this a fortress. We make it very difficult for any team to come and score 1 goal. To conceded 6 goals in the 2 games, 5 today, it'll be tough. But that's when you rely on the characters within the dressing room, the characters within the team, the characters within the whole club to try and bring the squad momentum back up.
Well, I gather we've got Roger Bennett waiting for us in Los Angeles. Roger Bennett is a big Evertonian. He's the presenter, of course, of the popular Men in Blazers. There's the scene over at Los Angeles. I can see Jurgen and I can see Roger Bennett in front of me. Can you hear me okay, Roger?
Darren Griffiths, it's lovely to hear your voice on this dark, dark day.
That didn't go according to plan, Roger, this afternoon, did it?
It was 2-1. We were about to go live on air. I got up to rehearse for 60 seconds and I came back and we were like 3-2 down. So I feel personally responsible. I will say the devastating defeat, the dark, diabolical footballing notion of it, which you will analyse, and I'm going to leave well alone. Despite that, it's been a joyous day here in Los Angeles. These people have been up since 4 o'clock this morning when they came here, thousands of them, to celebrate the Premier League. And when I was last in LA to watch a game, it was like in the late 1990s. It's a handful of people in a pub, the Cock and Bull in Santa Monica. Now there's thousands, including a ton of Blues. And it's really genuinely been a testament to the growth of the Premier League here in the United States today. It's been magnificent.
Yeah, I can see some familiar faces in the background there. So the disappointing results, it's probably dampened their spirits a bit, Roger, but it hasn't totally spoiled their day, has it?
You know what? You'll have to ask them. It was a beautiful gesture by the club to wear a United States warm-up jersey. I think it was greatly appreciated, even by fans of the Premier League who are not Everton fans. They just adored that doff of the cap. But after today's performance, I think it'll probably be the first and last time that uniform is worn. Just make sure the lads don't wear it again, Darren.
Well, as you can see, I don't know whether you can see the monitor. I've got Leon Osman alongside me here, Roger. I know you've long been a big admirer of Leon Osman, both on and off the pitch, I suppose. Now he's involved in your side of the game, the media side.
I admire anybody that's been within the whiff of cologne of Tony Hibbert, who is the one true God who we revere, admire, and I can't believe Everton have not built a statue to that man.
Well, that'll be my long-term goal, to help you attain your goal of building a statue for Hibbo. Yep. Look forward to that.
A Hibbo statue of a large.
It's brilliant, isn't it, Leon, to see the support. We've got Jurgen and Roger there over there in LA outside the Coliseum. It's fabulous to see Evertonians gathering together in the States.
It is, and it just always reminds you of the pull and of this club. The desire for everybody around the world to be Evertonians, to show the colours, to be proud of supporting our club, and whether that is, you get to come and be inside Goodison Park for a 3 o'clock kickoff on a Saturday afternoon, or you have to watch us where you can around the world. It shows how big our club is.
Do you think you'd have liked a crack at the MLS? We always had some great games when we went on pre-season tour over there. Do you think towards the end of your career you could have done what Wayne did, and Frank Lampard and Ashley Cole, Thierry Henry, Steven Gerrard, Robbie Keane?
Yeah, I mean, looking back, it would have been great to go over to somewhere like the MLS and play football, do a season or two. Yeah, probably, looking back, wish I had, but it was just so difficult to leave, to pull myself away from our club. So, yeah, in hindsight, maybe, but I'd never really want to give up a day I had here.
We had some terrific tours over to America, didn't we? I mean, David Moyes often speaks about the 2004-05 season when we surprised everybody and finished 4th in the Premier League. And a lot of players like yourself have alluded to in the past that it all started in Houston, in Texas, on the pre-season tour. What was it about that tour?
I think it was the fact that we were all together. We were able to be within a setup where we could go and walk around the mall without really getting bombarded or bothered. We could do our work. We had good downtime, and we seemed to have every meal together, and we lived in each other's presence for the whole time we were there. We had a couple of good nights out as well, which always seemed to help, but it just brought the team closer together. And it come off the back of us finishing 17th the season before, so we had that we've got nothing to lose mentality about us. Let's go out and show what we can do rather than try and protect what we've got, maybe, and all the ingredients really did come well together for us to have an outstanding season.
That season for me showed just how important momentum can be in football, because I was going to say we started well, but we got walloped on the opening day, didn't we, by Arsenal by 4-1. Then we went to Crystal Palace, we were a goal down, and then Kev Campbell and Thomas Gravers scored a couple of goals, and from then on, momentum just carried us along, didn't it? We etched out results.
We did, and we just kept believing, and we took every game, one game to the next. We went to Crystal. In fact, we played the Invincibles as they were on the opening day. No disgrace in losing to that team. You're right. Crystal Palace was we managed to turn that around. Then we played West Brom here and won 2-1. I scored, I think, my first 2 goals at Goodison Park, and we suddenly went to Ultra. We just kept going from one game to the next, and suddenly we were October, November, realising we were right at the top of the league with a lot of momentum within our team.
I think we're about to speak to the Everton manager, Rafa Benitez, very shortly. He's just standing by the corner flag, poised to join us. So fair play to the manager for coming over. It's always difficult to do these type of things after a disappointing result. But Rafa's been very good enough to join us. Thanks for joining us. Just a thoroughly disappointing last half hour, really, Rafa, wasn't it?
Very disappointed. So I think that we scored 2 goals. We were doing what we were expecting with Richarlison coming back, and then the fans really pleased, everybody happy, pushing, and then we start making mistake after mistake, and then in a few minutes we concede for goals that it's impossible to understand and to explain. So mistake that normally you cannot see, and then we put everything together.
When it's mistakes like that, rather than anything tactically, how do you speak to the players? How do you bring them back up after the game with regards to moving forward?
I think we have to take responsibility, all of us, no? Because I was talking about to be organised and to stay compact when we score, and then continue attacking, but be organised, and we didn't do that. Then it's not just the individual mistakes, so the structure of the team, so especially for me, the mentality. When you concede a goal, even if it's a 2 each, so you can win the game. So just be sure that you are organised, don't give them the chance to run in behind or things like that. And we're making more and more mistakes. So then it's something that you have to analyze. No, I was talking about character, mentality. My disappointment, because the fans were really, really behind the team, and this game is taking the confidence from everyone. So I think we have to show this character, and we have the fans. They have to appreciate that the team is working hard. Sometimes you cannot, and sometimes you make mistakes, but it's working hard. So for the future, for the games away and from the games at home, we need the fans behind. So we need to be sure that we react, and then we give them what they are expecting.
It's very difficult to take any positives from a disappointing day like today, but how pleased are you to have Richarlison back? It didn't take him long to show us what we've been missing with him being out.
Yeah, I don't like to justify anything, but we knew that Anthony has no 90 minutes in his legs yesterday, at this level, and we knew that the Marai has a cold, and then it was difficult to keep him all the time, but and you made the substitution. Richarlison came, scored the goal. Everybody is happy, and then the fans are enjoying. And then we saw now we are ready, and then we start making mistakes. So happy because we have another good player on the pitch. Yes, so hopefully he can help the team in the next games, and we can keep the level that we saw in the first games.
Tom Davies and Anthony Gordon, you mentioned, into the team today. Two young players replacing big players that weren't in the team. Do you feel they did okay today? I thought they did well.
Yeah, I think Tom started really well. I told him that you have to score goals because Doucouré was scoring goals, and he started really well. So I was pleased that it will be a boost for his confidence. And after we make mistakes as a team, Anthony, we know that he's a good player, he's a good talent, but he needs more time to have the match fitness that you need in the Premier League, and he's working on that, and I'm really happy. You cannot be happy because one or two players have done well when the team has lost a game in the way that we have lost. So you have to analyse every individual performance, but also we have to analyse if we can improve, if we must improve something.
Just finally, Rafa, how difficult a job have you got on your hands this week to lift the players ahead of the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers? When do you start looking ahead to that game?
To be fair, we started so well the season, and everybody was so focused, and then the commitment was there, that when we lost against Aston Villa, we conceded 3 goals in 9 minutes. Today we conceded 4 goals in 12 minutes. So then you try to explain how can we stop that, what we have to do that. Yesterday, trust me that we were working hard on the set pieces, on the corners to adjust things, and still you are conceding. So then now you need to think about again, what can we improve, how can we give them the same belief and confidence that they had at the beginning. And if you have done something, you can repeat that. So it's just a question of to be sure that they believe in themselves.
Thanks very much for coming out to speak to us, Rafa. Thank you very much appreciated. Thank you. Never easy for a manager to come out and speak after a result and a performance like that, so fair play to the manager.
Yeah, and to be so honest as well, you know, to say that we worked on set pieces yesterday and we were really focused on trying to make sure we were good defensively at it, and it didn't work, and being honest about that, and it's back to the drawing board. And you know, but it also showed the desire to get it right, which is always what you want to see.
We mustn't let these results derail what has been a promising start to the season. It's been a decent start to the season. We've been there or thereabouts near the top 6, so it's important that the players do look at themselves and try to correct what went wrong today, but don't let it derail the season.
Yeah, you know, that can happen so easily when you are a team that's, as you said, you've had a run of results, you're feeling positive, and then suddenly, you know, you have 3 or 4 bad results and it feels like that's become part of your season, and it's not. You need to make sure you put them results behind you as quick as possible. Look forward to the next run of results. Maybe bring it down to, let's look at the next 2 games. Let's look at the next 3 games. Let's get this pocket out of the way. Let's see how we do. Let's see the positive results we can get from these moments in this part of the season, and move from there, because they've got a lot of experience inside that dressing room, especially with the manager. He's been there, he's seen positive and negative results, and how we move forward from that.
You need your characters now, don't you? You need your experienced players to really come to the fore, to be a bit vocal, to clench a few fists and maybe rattle a few people in training next week.
Yeah, I mean, I was usually one of the ones getting rattled. I've got to be honest. I used to have Tony Hibbert or Jags or even Stubbsy giving me all sorts, just to try and raise the momentum, to try and make sure that, you know, we show that standards have been set, and we lowered our standards during that game or during that run of games. Now it's time to get them right back up there. You do it, or basically the experienced players are going to kick you, which is something that you need within your.
Didn't do you any harm, did it?
No. Well, it did me knees harm, but it didn't do the results harm. We generally picked up our progress from there, and I think the Everton squad need to make sure they've got people inside the dressing room doing that now. Well,
one person who was a member of Leon Osman's dressing room, who certainly was vocal, who certainly will be standing up and be counted this week, was Phil Neville. And Phil Neville is currently managing in the MLS, of course. He's in charge of Inter Miami. And I caught up with Phil. He had an early morning call with me from his Inter Miami office earlier this week.
Phil, great to see you, as always. Clearly up nice and early over there in Miami. What time have you got?
What time? Oh, it's 7:15 here. Because of the weather and the humidity, we train like 9:30, so it's a 6 o'clock start to every day. Obviously, it's November here now. It's getting really cold here now. It was only 28 yesterday, so the lad from Bury is enjoying himself.
I was going to say, are you enjoying the whole experience over there in Miami?
It's a great experience. It's a brilliant football club that's really ambitious, got a brilliant stadium, unbelievable training ground. Think about Finch Farm. This is equivalent to Finch Farm. Ambitious owners, and a league that it's one of the most toughest leagues I've ever worked in terms of the travel, the different climates, the physicalities of the team. Every team has the same kind of budget and roster, so everyone's equal, and it literally is just sort of like the best team on the day wins, because we're all on a level playing field. And it's been a brilliant experience so far, and hopefully it can last for a lot longer.
Does the travelling take a bit of getting used to?
The travelling is, honestly, we had, like they call it, a road trip last week. We went to Atlanta and Portland. Portland is over on the west side of the country, and we played in Atlanta on a Wednesday night. After the game, we flew to Portland, which was 6 hours from Atlanta, 3 hours time difference. We then spent 3 days there, came back and played on the Wednesday night. And literally for a week after, you are sort of like, you remember the preseason tours when we get back from Asia or America, you feel like that for 10 days, and you're doing that every 3 days. And it's the climate changes within the matches that you play. We can go up to Boston or New York and it be sort of like English type temperatures, and then come down to Miami and it's 33 degrees. The humidity is at maximum. And but that's been a real big challenge, and one that I've learned so much from the players, the way that they handle it, the recovery methods and the training methods. It's been a great learning experience about how to handle. And here, it's amazing here, when they say about a short drive, to a place, they talk about a short drive being 4 or 5 hours. I can't imagine Joseph Yobo or Tim Cahill, enjoying a 5-6 hour bus ride when we'd be flying to places or a train ride, So it's just been a great learning experience, and, it's good.
Do you meet any Evertonians on your travels?
Yeah, well, it'd be great, because I want to show you something which I think is really good. About a month ago, some coaches from the Everton Academy came out and visited me, and I invited them in for the day, and they presented me with this. Let me show you. They presented me with an Everton shirt.
Wow.
And we'd just come off the back of 6 games without winning. And I stuck that up on my board. They came into my office. I spent 2 or 3 hours with them. They're brilliant guys, proper Scousers, loved Everton. We spoke about the old days, the new days. And since when I put that up on my board there, like I just showed you, we then went, we lost 1 game in 13. We lost 1 game in 13, so I've never took that shirt down. That's my lucky shirt, So all Evertonians out there saying, I could do with them visiting again, because we've just come off the back of 60 feet. They've given me the away kit, and I can stick that up there.
Made a good start to the season, Phil, but any team would miss players of the calibre of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, and now Abdoulaye Doucouré as well. They're 3 big misses, aren't they?
Yeah, I think obviously centre forwards and goals, Dominic and Richarlison are our goal scorers. Ours. But Doucouré's been the one. I think he's probably been our best player this season, Doucouré, for me, in terms of consistency. And I was a fan of him at Watford, and then when he came to Everton, I thought it was a really good signing. But you're going to miss goals in the team. You can't be successful without goal scorers. Dominic has obviously had a fantastic 12 to 18 months. He's hungry, he's young, he's got energy. And Richarlison, they're a good foil. So I think that's always going to be a difficult one when you miss out, when your 2 best goal scorers are missing. So the quicker that they come back, the better.
I've got Leon Osman with me at the side of the pitch here at Goodison Park when this interview goes out, Phil. You're enjoying the lifestyle in Miami. You don't miss the likes of Leon Osman, do you?
No, well, did you know? I don't know if you've ever been to America and seen the Premier League coverage out here. The Premier League coverage is unbelievable. You get up on a Saturday morning, say it's like tomorrow morning we play Cincinnati at home. Yeah. I get up 7:30. There's a game on. 10 o'clock. There's a game on. 12:30. There's a game on. There's the coverage. You can see every goal. You can see every game. And sometimes that dulcet tone of Leon Osman comes onto my screens in America. I'm thinking, get off my screen, you know. But to be fair, he helps me sleep. You know, after one of the games, he helps me get my afternoon nap. No, he's obviously doing great. I love listening to him. To be fair, I love listening to him. I think he's doing great in the media. Got really good. He's always had a brilliant football brain. You know, and I think. You know, listening to him over here brings back great memories. And, you know, I love when he's on an Everton game and that Evertonian blue, even though he's got to be so not biased, always shines through, which makes me laugh. So tell him at 7:30 in the morning, sometimes on a Saturday morning, he's the first voice I hear in my when I'm sat in my bed.
Is that what you miss about English football, the dressing room banter, or is it sort of replicated over there, Phil?
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar. The one thing that I think it's a real funny story that some of the Americans on my staff found hilarious. We played Montreal, and we played the Montreal game in New York because the pandemic, the Canada was closed, their borders were closed. So we played Montreal in New York in the Red Bulls stadium, and fans were allowed in, but because it was Montreal, nobody was at the game. Apart from a Scouser that had come to the game, a Scouser had come to the game and sat right behind the bench. And all game, from the first minute to the last minute, I got absolutely abused by this Liverpool fan behind the bench. And there was something so beautiful about it. So, you know, when you think, I miss that kind of abuse from Liverpool fans. And the funny thing is that we came out after the game. I was just getting on the bus, and this same Scouser was stood right next to the bus, asking me to sign his program. And my goalkeeping coach and my assistant was going, "You can't sign that." But you know, like that Scouse banter was going, "Oh, Phil, I'm glad. I hope you like that bit of banter for the 90 minutes." I went, "Nah, I didn't really, but I did miss it, you know." So it was so funny that you think to yourself, that's what it's like in the Premier League. That's what it's like going to Anfield when you get 40,000, you know, Scousers having a go at you. And there was one in the Red Bulls arena that brought back so many great memories, you know.
Absolutely brilliant. Phil, thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck against Cincinnati.
Thanks, guys, and love to all the Everton fans out there.
Nice to see Phil Neville looking so fit and well, at least compared to me anyway. Bit pasty there, wasn't I? Phil Neville at Inter Miami started off badly. It went badly wrong for him, and as he mentioned in the interview, they then lost 1 in 13. Now they've lost 3 or 4 on the spin. I think that's the nature of the MLS. But what a good professional Phil Neville was, Ozzy.
Oh, brilliant professional. Yeah, I mean, he came to Everton from Manchester United, where, you know, he'd won an awful lot, and he brought a lot of professionalism, and he brought a lot of methods about how he'd become as successful as he has, and how much work he put into being successful. And I think that's putting him in good stead with regards to coaching and management, the time and hours and dedication he's got to his career. And, you know, he will always fight, and he'll always strive to be the best he can be. That's great to have as a captain, because you want to be inspired by your captains, and you want to follow your captains, and Phil Neville was certainly one of them.
Just before we go back to LA, because I'm going to speak to Jurgen Manke very shortly, just one more about Phil Neville. He'd won all those trophies at Manchester United, but he always says when he came to Everton, back to square one, he had to prove himself, not just to the fans, but to his teammates in training every day. Yeah,
because we would rib him to bits if he didn't. You know, that's the culture that we've got at we had at Everton. I presume it's still there now. Seamus Coleman's still within the setup from my time. So yeah, you knew he would come in, and you wanted him to have to prove himself, and you wanted him to not come in and basically get his trophies out and say, you know, this is what I've done, and use you know, you guys aren't as good as us maybe, or whatever, from that mentality. You wanted him to come in and say, right, you're part of us now. Let's see what you can do for us. Let's see how hard you can work for us. Can you inspire? Can you play well? Can you show how good a player you are? And I don't think his effort could ever have been doubted in any aspect. Absolutely not. Terrific guy to work with, and still a terrific guy to work with now as well. Right, we're going to cross back to Los Angeles, I believe, now to speak to Jürgen Meinke, who's been challenged with growing the Everton fan base over there in the United States. There's Jürgen with the Evertoners behind him in front of the famous Los Angeles Coliseum. Jürgen, when we were putting this event together, we both said, if we get a good win, it will be great. It didn't go according to plan, but how's the day been?
Darren, Leon, first of all, greetings from sunny California. With the day started at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's unbelievable. The atmosphere in this event, all these EPL fans, starting with our Everton supporters, showing up here on this side at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, celebrating football. Our football, but here in America, has been unbelievable. Regardless of the result, and boy, it hurts. It hurts bad. But regardless of the result, every single one of our supporters came here to get together, to cheer what we are as a team in Everton.
So has it been a very good match day Premier League live event? I went to one in Boston a couple of years ago and I thought it was absolutely amazing. I imagine it's the same there in Los Angeles.
Leon, it's unbelievable. The combination of grown-ups, families, kids, all sorts of supporters having not only fun watching on like 6 different screens in such an iconic place like the LA Coliseum. There is games for kids, there's soccer balls, there's drinks, there's coffee. It's unbelievable. It doesn't seem that this was 4 o'clock in the morning just a couple of hours ago, correct? Our game started 7 a.m. Pacific time. It's crazy. There were 5,000 people here in the last 3.5 hours. It's unbelievable. The atmosphere and the passion that Americans feel for our sport, the football, across the pond is as intense as every single person that was there at Goodison Park with you guys today.
When I did my intro to you there, Jürgen, before we started speaking to you, I mentioned that you were the guy on the ground over there in America charged with growing the fan base stateside. In that respect, how's it going for you so far? How have the last few months been? Certainly challenging, obviously, for obvious reasons, because there are so many restrictions about, but how's it going over there for you?
It's gone fantastic. Darren, we need to start by acknowledging that we have a group of supporters, fans, groups around the nation, 53, 54 of them, that are so engaged with our club that it's very easy to work with. In addition, we've been working with every single department back at Everton in the front office to figure out the way that we're going to continue engage with fans over here, starting with America, following with Canada, Mexico, and then the rest of the continent in this international strategy that we have set forth. I wouldn't say challenging. It's actually fun. It's actually fun, and it's something that has to go little by little, and it's not a quick turnkey solution. It's a roadway that we're positioned.
You say it has to go little by little. What's the next step?
Well, the next step is hopefully having the team coming down here in 2022. We need to be, top of mind with the fan base here. We are working on a couple of different areas, specifically when it comes to collaborations with merchandise in the U.S. You saw what happened today with this collaboration with Hummel. We're the first English Premier League team to ever show a tribute jersey to the fans in a country like the U.S. So things like that are little steps, but those are the ones that are coming around the corner.
Jürgen, it's always a pleasure to meet up with you again. Glad to see you looking so well, and I'm glad that the disappointing result here at Goodison Park hasn't completely ruined your day. Do enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you soon, Jürgen. Thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you very much, guys.
The connection, understandably, between Liverpool 4 and Los Angeles there wasn't the best, but I think I heard him say that the next step is for me and you to go out there, Leon, or did I mishear that?
That's what I thought. I'd heard that we need to go out and spread the Everton word, and I think we'd be pretty good at it myself, Darren. I think we'd do it in a very respectful and professional way, and we'll enjoy ourselves along the way.
It will be good. It's been such a challenging time for everybody. Obviously, travel restrictions have made things very, very difficult, but we've been over there, and I just want to mention the passion of the US fans over there, because they'll be very disappointed at the result today, but they won't let it dampen their spirits. They're so enthusiastic for everything to do with Everton, aren't they?
Absolutely. It doesn't really matter that they are US based. Evertonians, you're an Evertonian, that's it. We are disappointed across the world after that. I want to say final 15 minutes more than the whole game today. Disappointed with how the game finished. We all feel it in the same way. We all have to deal with it in the same way, and we'll all be positive and move forward and look forward to the next game in the same way. And it's great that, you know, our club is growing and growing as the years go by. As I said, when we first went over to Houston back in 2004, we were able to really power down and sort of walk the streets, and wasn't an issue. You know, having been to these Premier League live events in America now, the Premier League has grown in such a way, and Everton as a club are now huge in the US. I'd be amazed if the same thing could happen now, and that shows how quickly the game has grown out there in the US, and will continue to grow.
Just before we let you go, we'll just end on your blossoming media career, Ozzy. What's it like for you when you're watching a game like today? Everybody knows that you're as blue as they come. You're sitting there, you've got to be reasonably impartial, you've got to be professional, but you're looking at Everton and we're getting dismantled in the space of 12 minutes. It must be difficult.
I found that difficult today. Yeah, I was doing the co-commentary for Sky this afternoon, and that was a tough 15 minutes to commentate on. You are still deep down a fan. And you hope that bias doesn't come out in your commentary, because it's there for every commentator that is out there. They will have their club, whether that's commentator or co-commentator, and you hope that doesn't come across. But on afternoons like today, the way the game finished, that was difficult. But, you know, the commentator said on fair play to Watford. They played well, they scored some good goals, and probably came away worthy winners in the end.
They certainly did. A hugely disappointing outcome here at Goodison Park in the Premier League fixture, but we hope that everybody over there in Los Angeles continues to enjoy their day. It certainly did look as if they were having some good fun. Thank you very much indeed for watching us. Thanks very much indeed for Leon Osman joining us after talking his way through a 5-2 home defeat. So thanks very much indeed to you, Ozzy.
Cheers, Dazza.
Thanks everybody for watching. Do look after yourselves, keep nice and safe, keep obeying the rules, keep looking after each other, and we'll see you all very, very soon.